this video, we're going to be talking about the C word, change. Because, human beings, we are creatures of habits, and change usually doesn't come easy, especially as we get older. So we're going to answer the question, why haven't you changed? Maybe you feel like you have the intention of changing, somewhere inside of you wants to do it, or you think you greatly want to change, but nothing is changing. So I created a list, guys, and we're going to go over what some of those reasons can be, all right, to help you figure out what is holding you back from changing, okay? So here's some ideas or some causes, all right? First of all, what I want to say is when you feel stuck or you feel like something hasn't changed, it's usually after a series of poor decisions, all right? And that's really important to duly note here because after we make a lot of poor decisions, chances are our self-confidence has what? Gone down. Our self-esteem going down. So this is going to make us a person that may become non-active. So nothing is going to change, of course, if nothing is changing. So if we're not doing something to cause a change. So, if our self-confidence and our self-esteem is down, it's making us not trust our abilities to make decisions, to make better decisions, then, this could create a situation where we're going to be feeling stuck. But I want you to overall feel, when you're feeling stuck, it's just a red flag. That means something has to change, There's something that you need to be changing, all right? So yeah, after a series of poor decisions, like, I decided to be in that relationship with the narcissist, and, now I feel stuck. I don't feel the changes that I would like to see for myself. I feel stuck. So let's go down the list here now that I've, at least given you that foundation there about the low confidence and self-esteem. All right. Resistance. You hear that word over and over and over on this channel. But what are you holding on to? What are you still attached to? Either physically, psychologically, or both. Are you still involved with the energy or the things that you're trying to change away from, or that are going against your ability to change? You're still physically involved and attached to it. And then if you're not physically, is it still like psychologically and mentally, renting so much space in your mind that is almost a similar effect to having it physically present in your life at that point? So resistance, you're still attached. And you hear me talk a lot about the art of detachment a lot on this channel, being able to let go of things that don't serve you, and it makes space for the change to occur, okay? And a lot of times we don't let go because of number two. We're feeling hopeless, or, we really don't believe. We're full of doubts. And we can insert here learned helplessness. I made a video on that if you don't know what learned helplessness is about. But, we're just talking about someone that's in a state of not being able to see the change that they would. It's like, well, yeah, it would be nice to have this change, but I don't really believe it's possible for myself. And sometimes we can get into that place, and once that seeps into our subconscious, of course, our actions are going to be in alignment with that. We're going to be procrastinating, all right? So, yeah. Learned helplessness, feeling hopelessness, and full of doubt, okay? The third thing that I have here on the list is when you're feeling overwhelmed. We can insert here someone that may be overthinking the change that needs to occur. And sometimes when we overthink and we feel overwhelmed, it's like we don't know where to start, and we end up not doing nothing because we feel so overwhelmed about it, right? But, I want to say here that increasing our emotional maturity and understanding, hey, we can take small steps. Hey, I don't have to know A to Z. I know what A is. Let's start there. Okay, now I know what B is. And, I'm gradually still making progress without having it all figured out. But, I know what I need to do first. Okay. So you don't have to have it all figured out, and you don't have to overwhelm yourself by thinking about that end goal so much. Just be like, okay, what can I do today to take a step towards? What can I do tomorrow to take a step towards? And so forth and so on. And then guess what? Those steps is creating that distance and moving you closer. Okay. So number 4 here on my list is the yo-yoing. Because we're being inconsistent. We keep putting our foot in, taking it out, putting our foot in, taking it out. And scientists have studied change, and as far as changing patterns and habits. And the saying used to be, 21 days and you create it. Not always the case. Sometimes it can take a lot more time. And the new studies are saying anywhere from 45 to 365 days to break and rebuild new habits and stuff. So that's a long time. So if you're unable to be consistent for whatever that time period is for you specifically, and you fall off, and you're not going to feel that change because you haven't stayed in it long enough for it to cement for you. Or should I say cement, or become more of the dominant presence in your life to overpower the old ways and old thinking, whatnot. Okay. So yo-yoing and being inconsistent. Okay. And that kind of connects with number 5, and that's time. Time, is definitely in the equation of change. Sometimes it just hasn't been enough time. And that doesn't have to be you yo-yoing. It just means you're just starting out, and that trauma bond isn't going to break overnight. It's going to take some time. And you're going to have to be working against your shadow side. It's going to be screaming. Your flesh is going to be screaming to return to what's normal, to what's common, to what's your previous comfort zone. It's still your comfort zone at this point, even though you're trying to break away from it. All right. So time is going to be a factor, even if you're not yo-yoing. It just takes a certain amount of time, because it took you time to build those habits. It's going to take time to break them and to change them, right? All right, so the next thing that I have on my list is believing what others told you or what others are telling you. This is a lot of time, when we've been verbally abused, or we have a lot of naysayers in our life and they're doubting you, and you're letting that take away your confidence. You're attaching yourself to other people's opinions. And if you watch my channel enough, you know how I feel about that. I control my life. My voice is the voice that matters. There's nothing wrong with seeking wise counsel. But at the end of the day, I have to follow my discernment, because it is my journey and my path. I should be, when we're in tune with ourselves in a healthy manner, I'm going to know ultimately better than anyone else. Even if it was the wise counsel that someone told me and it resonated with me and it felt right with my spirit and my soul, I'm like, yeah, they're right. That is what I should be doing. I agree with that. And that sets well with me. I'm glad that I came upon that information. But sometimes it's not the case as well. So ultimately, you take the wise counsel. In this case, it's the unwise counsel, that's affecting our ability to change, the echoes of the verbal and mental abuse, psychological abuse. And you're never going to be nothing. You were nothing without me. I made you, all these type of statements. Oh, well, you're not qualified. And don't God laugh at that when people say, oh, you don't know this, you ain't that, you ain't trying to put you down. But you have to receive that for it to be able to work and fester in your space and in your life, okay? Start receiving that, rebuke stuff like that, intercept stuff like that, return to sender with stuff like that, guys, all right? So, that's really important about believing what other people's are saying, because your vision is your vision, your journey is your journey. It's going to resonate most with you. No one else might never understand it, but they'll see it when it's done, right? They'll understand then. But you don't need them to understand it, so we have to get out of that space of even needing it. It's your journey. It's your story. It's what you are supposed to do. You're the one that needs to be in alignment with it, whether they get it or not. You just need to get it and do it. okay, and honor it. All right, so yeah, the running theme for this with the changes is definitely is going to be distance, time, and perception. I want you guys to keep those three things in mind. Have I put enough distance between what I'm trying to get away from? Okay, am I giving it the proper amount of time and consistency? Do I have the proper perceptions and mentalities that's going to foster a positive atmosphere so that I can continue this change, all right, and push through the finish line with this, all right, until I have created that change or have become that change, all right, and congratulations when you do that. Then it's on to the next thing, right? But make sure you take a moment to appreciate it and to recognize your hard work and your efforts and enjoy the journey along the way, okay? And take in everything along the way. All right, so let's go over that real quick. As I was saying, usually after a series of bad or poor decisions, our confidence is feeling low and our self-esteem, and we're not seeing that change and we're feeling stuck. It's a red flag that something does need to change, all right? And we said resistance, number one, could be an issue holding on to what doesn't serve us, not practicing the art of detachment. Number two, being hopeless, full of doubt, and not believing it's possible for yourself. Those limiting negative stories that we can tell ourselves about, well, everyone else did this to me. Everyone else coming will do it too, or I've never been able to do this successful, so I won't do it. All my other businesses failed. Why should I try this idea? Just feeling hopeless and down and out about yourself, right? Number three, feeling overwhelmed and overthinking, and sometimes that just leads to nothingness. Like, gosh, I felt overwhelmed. I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm overwhelmed by how big of a task this is, instead of just breaking it down into smaller steps. Not needing to know everything, but needing to know where to start, okay? And then start there, all right? So number four, guys, we talked about yo-yoing and basically being inconsistent, all right? How can we create change if we keep falling off the bandwagon? Number five, giving it adequate time. Even if we're not yo-yoing, don't expect everything to be overnight. That is the exception of things in life, okay? It's nice and sweet when it happens, but usually things take time, all right? Number 6, believing what other people tell you. Yeah. How many people have let other people crush their dreams and their goals because the other people didn't understand it, because it wasn't their dreams and goals. It wasn't their vision. It was yours. It's okay if they don't, all right? It's just for you to get it. And perhaps it'll make sense to them later, and it may never make sense to them. But you honor yourself and do what you're supposed to do. All right, guys? So I hope that this video has helped someone consider why they haven't been able to make the changes that they needed to make in their life and what they need to do to help themselves become unstuck. If you want to get a lot more specific with this, I do offer one-on-one coaching, guys. You can go to my website, lakiacrawford.com, to schedule your appointment. I do voice calls, I do Skypes and FaceTime, and I help people with everything under the sun. So hit me up and we'll go from there, right? With that being said, while you're on the website, you can see everything else that I have going on, the Patreon monthly membership, and thank you to all the Patreon members that support the work that I do here with your monthly contributions. If you want to become a part of that and get some wonderful perks back for doing so, you could feel free to check that out. I've also written some therapeutic books, guys. They're available on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble's, an ebook and hard copy. But if you want a signed copy, you can order those from my website. I have a merchandise on my website as well to make your statement against narcissistic abuse and have fun with your fashion. I have a free support group, guys, over on Facebook. The link is below down there. Inbox me and let me know you're a survivor of narcissistic abuse, because that's who the support group is for. All right, with all of that being said, thank you guys for all the love and support that you show the channel. Great ways to support the channel is to always like the videos, comment, share the videos with people you think that need to hear stuff like this. They don't teach emotional maturity in schools, but it's definitely very important. Along with having the book smarts, we definitely need to have our emotional maturity, right? All right, so with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. And what do I say at the end of all my videos? Never give up on yourself, continue to do the work, and until next time, please take care.